one of the things that's at stake for Washington voters is a potential income tax. And you might be thinking, Brandi, there's no income tax on the ballot. Oh, yes, there is. Okay. An income tax is absolutely on the ballot, because if we don't start to chip away at one party rule in Olympia, they are going to push through an unconstitutional income tax, but it's not going to matter because basically they do whatever they want. This was a story that came out over the weekend from the Washington State Standard. We'd also heard some rumors and rumbling of this. Washington State Democrats look at imposing income tax on high earners. The idea is brewing ahead of the 2026 legislative session. It would target those making above $1 million. Our state is one of 9 that does not tax wages. And of course, this has been the prize that Democrats have had their eye on in Washington state for a long time. And I really believe that this is what they have been working toward as they've passed new tax after new tax after new tax. I think they want you to feel so taxed out that they'll come to you and they'll sell this tale of, let us just do an income tax. We'll get rid of all the other ones, all these taxes that have a disproportionate impact on the poor. Let us pass this tax that would tax only people making over $1 million. Come on. Few of us make only over $1 million. We're not going to have to pay this tax. It's just going to be the richies of the rich. And I'm worried that they're going to be able to sell that to enough Washingtonians to make it possible. And when they say, and this is how, again, they'll spin it, you know how this works, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. And that's worked so many times. But when have those taxes ever stayed in the form that they were first passed in? I mean, look at the capital gains tax. It was like, oh, we're just taxing the Jeff Bezoses of the world. And it's like, no. And then immediately they come back and they reduce the threshold and they reduce the threshold. So if they were to try to fit through and get through and it passed, the state Supreme Court, which I think isn't a problem because the state Supreme Court doesn't give a damn about the Constitution, either the federal or the state constitutions. And enough people would be duped into believing that, oh, it's just on people who make over $1 million. That's not me. It's not going to impact me. Well, yes, it will in 2 ways. First of all, as soon as they get it through, they'll start to lower the threshold. And what they want is an income tax on every single one of you. And if you think for 1 second that they wouldn't do that, or that at the same time they'd eliminate some of these other regressive taxes, I mean, wake up. You're just fooling yourself. But let's say they were to keep it at just people making over $1 million. Where do you think those people are going to go? They're going to leave. They're going to go somewhere else. The state has already shown that it doesn't want people who make a lot of money here. So what happens when people who they've targeted this new income tax at leave the state? Well, they were already going to spend all the money that the new income tax would bring in. So then that is going to fall on you, as so many other things do. Businesses leave. Okay, well, we don't want to cut our budget, so we're going to have to make up that revenue somewhere, and they come to you for it. So this is just insane. And Governor Bob Ferguson, he was at some leftist conference over the weekend, and he was asked by the State Standard about this new proposal coming from Democrats. And here's what he said. The headline, Washington Governor Ferguson skeptical of tax increases in 2026. During an appearance in Seattle on Wednesday, he also offered hints about some of his other priorities for next year's session. So he told the Standard that he's reluctant to support major new tax increases in the session that begins in January. He said, quote, we did raise billions of dollars in revenue earlier this year, and I'm skeptical of additional revenue at this time. Okay, remember when he was skeptical just a year ago of increasing taxes? Remember when he campaigned for governor this time last year, saying we need to get our budget in order and our spending and taxes under control? And then he spent the first 2 months of the legislative session pretending like he wasn't eager to sign new taxes. And then what did he do? He signed the largest tax increase in state history into law. So him saying he's reluctant to support any new taxes. Just a year ago, he said the exact same thing. And then he passed like $12 billion in new taxes. So I don't believe a word he has to say. And the fact that he won't come out absolutely and say, no, I'm not going to support an income tax, even if it's on a high earners, tells you everything you need to know.